I think one of the hardest questions for me to answer is, what is your favorite camera lens? But I think I'm getting very close to the answer, and in this video I'm gonna show you the lens that I have been rocking the most every time I have a quick event or I'm going somewhere and I don't want to carry a big setup. This is the only lens that I take with me because it's so versatile. So let's get right on it. What's up, guys? It's a rainy day here in the Outer Banks today, and it's been kind of like a lazy morning. I was taking a break from the city, and while I was packing, I was thinking about how much I try to simplify my setup when I'm going places in terms of camera equipment and recording. And as of lately, I've been loving this lens a lot, and I decided to make a video on why I love it, what are some of the favorite features, and what other accessories I use to pair this lens with. Without further ado, let's dive into this video. Let's go. The number one reason why I really love this lens is because the separation of the subject from the background, it's insane at 1.4. And I pair this lens with the Peter McKinnon ND filter and 2 to 5 stops. For situations like this, when it's super bright out, I can keep my ISO low. I have it right now at 640 because I'm using a Sony FX3. I feel that when you're talking to the camera, having this much separation just creates a very unique, a very distinct look. Point number 2 is the size. I have a 24 to 70mm G Master, the version 2, which is, I don't remember how much smaller than the version 1 is, and the autofocus is a little bit faster. When I'm going on like more important trips or like longer trips, I usually take both, because the fact that this 24mm is 1.4, if it's nighttime, and if you pair that with a Sony CV1 or in my case with the Sony FX3, low light is not even a thing anymore. Personally, I like having, you know, all that room to play around and not be limited by what I can capture, because whenever I use my Sony a7 IV with the 24 to 70 G Master 1 at night, it was like 2 years ago, and AI and noise reduction features were nowhere near as good as they are right now. So if you have that setup right now, you could probably get away with, you know, cranking stuff up and like using noise reduction features on DaVinci Resolve, which is the best editing software ever. The more I go around and record videos and document my life and do stuff like that, the more I try to simplify the process of doing it. Even though I'm making this video because this is my most used setup as of the moment. I brought my drone, I brought the 24 to 70mm G Master. I'm only using this, but I like to have the peace of mind that I brought that gear in case I were to need it or use it. There is another video that I made about another lens. Let's just switch scenario. That other lens is a 10 to 18mm, and even though it's a APS-C lens that it was made a while ago, if I have to guess, I'll say 5-6 years ago. But when you pair that lens with the Sony FX3 or a7 IV or any Sony full-frame cameras, you get a really distinct look, in my opinion, for what I create. So that one is way more budget friendly. This one is a little bit more expensive. The 24 1.4 is about $1,000 something. I always try to go to Facebook Marketplace, honestly, and eBay, and sometimes Amazon, because Amazon I can, you know, play around with the lens and I can always return it if it's not what I expected. And just so you know, all these lenses and things that I'm mentioning will be in the description below if you are considering on getting any of those stuff. If you have any questions about how the setup works or how I use it or the specific settings, I can totally make a specific video about this, but I felt that it was like, you know, one of those lazy mornings. I brought my whole setup and I wanted to record sunrises and stuff like that, but it's been gray. There's a northeastern storm, like a bad storm happening, so I didn't feel like super motivated. I also got sick and I didn't post a lot of content that I was planning on posting. Last but not least, I think that what it matters the most, and it's something that I still struggling with, is being able to grab whatever you use to record and start recording that idea that you have in your head. I personally, this is me being a little bit more open, I struggle with the fact that I am too technical and I want to have everything figured out and the idea and stuff like that. And I think that that's important for some projects that you want to create because they have
deep meaning to you or something like that. Like, you need to plan those out and shot lists and stuff like that. But I think that it's really important for people that have that need to create to do this type of videos as well. Some people will connect with them. Just the way I sit down and watch other YouTubers videos about them talking about their day and things that they like just because of who they are, it's something that we need to encourage more, and I'm encouraging myself to do it more often. Not everything has to be planned out, because sometimes life happens just when you're living in it. The same thing can be said about making videos. Yes, while you need to try to give value in every video that you create, there are some other videos that is just like for you to look back and say, okay, I did my best and I tried to, you know, create and express myself and showcase how I see the world and the things and the tools that I use to help me showcase the way I see the world and things like that. That's something that I've been thinking about as I've been chilling and sick the past couple days, and something that I wanted to share, and hopefully that also helped you out. Getting back to the topic of the video, this is pretty much the conclusion. If you're thinking about getting into documenting your life, creating content, whatever the case may be, and you're at the moment right now where you're looking for a good starting camera, because that's a question that I get quite a lot on my Instagram. If I had the knowledge that I have right now, I would definitely go with the Sony A7C II or the Sony CVE1 and pair it with either a 10-18. If you have a limited budget, that lens will get you through. It's super efficient and it's cheap, but I will invest in a good camera body initially and one lens just to get you started, because a lot of people get excited and inspired by other YouTubers, myself included, to create some content, and sometimes we purchase things out of thinking that when we purchase those things our videos are gonna get done, but not really. When you realize the amount of work and the things that you have to put into place in order for you to get an idea done, I think that the gear comes to, you know, comes below. I don't know, I just want to like preach that idea of being realistic about gear, because while we do make some money when you purchase from one of the links at not extra cost to you, it's just affiliate links and programs like that, I think that I don't want to be one of those people that is pushing you to buy stuff if you don't need it, because I don't do it myself, or I try not to do it. It went a little bit over and longer than I wanted to be, but this is how I'm feeling today, and this is what I wanted to share with you guys. I'm trying to connect deeply with people watching me on YouTube rather than that short form dopamine content that I create on Instagram and TikTok. Even though I enjoy creating that, I think it was time for me to express myself and let myself be known for who I am a little bit more, which comes with being vulnerable. And I don't want this to be a video about that. I literally just wanted to talk about this lens. You gotta let things roll. So go out, go record. If you're feeling inspired today, go create something, and I'll see you sometime this week. I'm being very consistent, so subscribe and like if you got any value out of this. If not, I'll try to get you that on the next video. Peace out.